One under par, Dustin Johnson and Justin Rose. They are just one back, as is Jason Day. Brooks Koepka off to a rough start. A couple of bogeys have him at one over par. Jordan Spieth is also, by the way, even through a couple of first-round holes. On the hardwood last night, Lakers with an upset. The Thunder beat LA 105-86. The 86 points is a season low for points in a game by the Lakers this season. Jazz down the Grizzlies 124-115. Memphis holding on to that 8th spot is 0-4 in the bubble. They've now lost 5 in a row. I'm Deb Carson.
We are Fox Sports.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
The Tony Bruno Show.
The man chosen to save American radio from its horrible future.
He didn't invent radio. He just perfected it.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays.
Parental discretion is advised.
The godfather of sports radio.
It is a final.
Here is Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno.
Hello there, kids. We'd like to welcome all of you as we have a subluxation of the knee Thirsty Thursday, Harry. How's your sublugated knee today?
My knee is fine. The 76ers are not.
Do they take both knees now when they play again in the bubble? That's the latest on Ben Simmons as we get underway. Harry Mays back looking relaxed. We had thunderstorms overnight. In the middle of the night, I'm hearing thunder, seeing lightning flashes, and I think Harry Mays had to go out. He had an important date today, golf date, Harry. Are you going to share this? Because we know the PGA Championship is underway out on the West Coast at Harding Park, but Harry got to experience one of those bucket list days in any person's life, especially a golfer's life.
Yeah, I was hosted at the number 1 rated golf course in the planet this morning.
Which planet would that be?
It'd be South Jersey.
Oh, okay.
And the planet. Okay, it happens to be in Southwest
Not
New
at Planet
Jersey.
Fitness. I think they're still closed.
Right, they're still closed because of the COVID. I'm a member there, too. I'm not a member at this place, but what a fantastic
Pine
experience.
Valley.
Yeah.
It's one of those places. I've driven by there. I've played all the great ones. You know, I've been at Marion. I've been at, I told you I've been lucky to get invited. I'm not even a great golfer. So Harry gets on Pine Valley, where presidents try to get on and have to have special dispensation to get on there. It's the hardest course in the world to get on, right?
One of them, yes.
Now, are you allowed to say who got you on there?
I am not going to do that, and I had that.
That's one of the rules of golf club.
I told you.
when you belong to golf club, you don't talk about the golf club.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. It's like Fight Club.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say that this gentleman is a fan of the show.
Nice.
Okay, he listens to the
So
show.
he got on because of me. So
hi.
you're using your influence of being as part of this program.
See, I knew you were going to take it, though. In fact, I even said that to one of the guys I was playing with. I said, Tony's going to take credit for this.
Absolutely. Why not? I got to take credit for something. I don't have any cash. I got to work with credit, Harry.
Do you take credit for the 76ers and the fact that, in my belief now, with no Ben Simmons the rest of the way, and I think he's going to probably miss the rest of the way, that Brett Brown will survive?
Absolutely. He now has another built-in excuse.
Yep.
Remember, Ben Simmons came in unbelievable shape.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
We saw him all jacked up. He got ready, dumped the Kardashians and the Jenners. He focused on the bubble, Harry. And again, it was an unfortunate. And if you watch the replay, it wasn't even. It was another one of these non-contact
Yeah, it was
things.
a strange situation.
And what it is basically he dislocated the patella tendon, which is your kneecap. And we've seen a lot of players get injuries in the kneecap. You know, you fall, you could crack it, all the other different things. It's a tendon.
So rather than bending the way the knee is supposed to bend, it bent the other way.
It's like a It's almost like a dislocation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They call subluxation.
Subluxation.
Yeah. Sounds painful.
We're going to play a block of subluxation later on as soon as Joe C. finds one of their better albums. You know what I'm saying?
Do they have more than one album?
I don't think they do. I think they were a one-hit wonder, Harry, back in the 80s. But Ryan Rothstein's here. Couch guy is back. Conlon Farrell wearing his Cubs hat. And you know what? I got to give him something, Harry. Do you know what the Chicago Cubs and the Minnesota Twins have in common? They are twins. Mm-hmm. When you look at what's going on in baseball, Harry, both teams are 10-2, Cubs and Twins. Both teams are 9-1 in their last 10 games, and both teams are 3-1 on the road. Coincidence?
I think not.
Exactly.
Yes.
Good thing Andrew Siciliano's not here.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know the answer to that like last week.
I still can't believe that went right over his head.
Who does not know that
I
phrase?
don't know.
Maybe it's because he was on the beach.
Who does
I
that?
don't know.
Who has
But
time?
he even followed up with Tony afterwards going, I really didn't know that.
It's okay. You don't have to know everything. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, to make sure everybody gets on the right golf courses, make sure that he's feeling better today now, our good friend Conlon Farrell.
Yeah, Tone, as Mike Singletary once says, I want winners.
I want winners.
Did you take my advice yesterday on going against the Lakers, going against the Brooklyn Nets?
No, I didn't. The only basketball I touched when I got home was the live line of 7.5, the Celtics minus 7.5 against the Brooklyn Nets, because I know the Brooklyn Nets poured their heart and soul in defeating the Milwaukee Bucks the day prior.
Yep.
So they were out of gas, and they lost by a whopping, 31 points last night. So cash another ticket, man.
And they don't have a high-performance engine to begin with.
No, they don't.
So when you run low on gas with that
They're
engine,
running on just-for-wheels rental cars like me and Rothstein.
Exactly. By the way,
That's another
the
topic.
bottom line with the NBA bubble now, we've gotten to the point now where there's only the Western Conference 8 seed to decide right now. And obviously the second seed in the West, because Denver could be catching. And we're going to try to talk to one of the great broadcasters in Denver if he gets a hold of us now.
Yes.
Scott Hastings.
The great Scott Hastings, part of the Denver Nuggets broadcast team. And the Denver Nuggets quietly, they're sniffing at that number 2 spot.
They're a half game back.
I know.
Yeah.
So if they win today, and the Denver Nuggets play Portland tonight, and they have owned Portland this year. You know, they're 3-0 against the Portland Trail Blazers, the Denver Nuggets.
Portland's trying to run down the 8th seed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's a good game.
That's a huge game later on. That's tonight at 8 o'clock down in the bubble, and the Blazers is it a game and a half or one out of the 8 spot?
It looks to me like they're a game back.
Yeah, so that's a big game tonight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's another interesting game later on. We'll talk about that too. T.J. Warren going against his former team and his former teammate, Devin Booker, 2 of the hottest guys in the bubble, right? In fact, T.J. Warren, Harry, is the leading scorer in the bubble.
Is that right?
You realize he's averaging 39.7 points per game. And obviously, he wants respect. And a lot of people are like, T.J. Warren, all he does is score every single game. And he's got a chip on his shoulder because Denver had him, Phoenix had him last year.
And they traded him for a couple of draft picks,
Exactly.
I think.
Cash considerations.
Yeah.
He was the equipment manager on Phoenix, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. So the bottom line is, he obviously loves Devin Booker. They were teammates. They were boys. And so they're going to face each other today. And obviously the Suns, they're still on the outside looking in.
Yeah, but
let's be honest.
they've been playing well in the bubble, though.
Yeah,
but
they're
still
the only 3-0 teams.
Yeah.
The only 3-0 teams in the bubble are Portland and Denver, and they play each other.
Yeah, that Western Conference for that 8th seed's really tight. I mean, you look at the Kings, who are currently the 13th seed. They're 20, so they're 3 games back of the 8th seed. So there's ground to be made up. But
they haven't won a game since they got to the bubble either.
Exactly. And the Suns are hot too. Yeah. It's neck and neck.
Well, the Sun is hot. I mean, you don't want to touch the Sun. You don't want to look into the Sun.
And the Grizzlies have lost every game since going to the bubble. It's like they don't want to make the playoffs.
Exactly.
No, they're not even. It doesn't seem like they're trying. All the talk was on the Grizzlies, and they're laying an egg.
They really are.
Out of the 3 sports leagues, now we talk about the storylines in the NBA, Tony, Harry, Miss Robin, Couch Guy. It seems like hockey's the most entertaining, as Tony's been saying. Every game in hockey is by far with the most storylines, most entertainment. NBA, half the playoff teams, it doesn't matter.
But here's the reason why, because they had the system set up where they had the round robins, and then they had the qualifying of tournaments, the best of 5s.
Right.
Those have been compelling. Rangers obviously got wiped out in 3 games. That was the only sweep so far. But the other series are all compelling.
They put something at stake for everybody.
Exactly.
Like even whether you're
For
a top
every
4
game.
team, you could play for seeding, and the bottom guys are playing to get in.
Look at the Boston Bruins. They were the best team in hockey during the regular season. They were the number 1 seed going in the first half. They come out, and they lost to the Flyers, and then they lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and now they're going to be a 3 seed. And they know it, and their coach talked about it, and they know it. But, once they start the playoffs next week, they don't even know who they're going to play now yet. They have one more game against Washington, the Bruins do.
Right.
The Flyers play Washington today in their action. Teams like the Flyers, they're trying to get their legs in it. They want to feel confident. They're actually trying hard because they got a lot to prove. And a young coach, a veteran coach with some young players trying to get them ready. The Boston Bruins know they're good. Rask didn't play that great last night, but he hadn't played, so he was rusty. And so the teams
Tampa's really good.
Oh, and Tampa's they're three right now.
They're really
They're
good.
scary good.
Yeah.
That offense.
They are scary good. So We got compelling action because the playoffs are a week. Next week, they'll be in real playoffs in the National Hockey League. Same thing with basketball. The bubble stuff's going to end, and then we're going to know who the top 8 seeds are in each conference, and then they'll go out and play.
Well, yeah, you also have a couple of higher-seeded teams that are up against it in hockey. With Pittsburgh Penguins.
I know.
Could be eliminated by Montreal, and the Edmonton Oilers, who are at home
in their own
Granted,
building.
It's an empty building, but it's their building.
They haven't had to travel. They haven't had to do anything. They're comfortable.
You know what they should have said before the series?
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
Exactly.
And they're not. Give the Blackhawks credit, man.
Yeah.
They are playing feisty hockey, man.
So if the Oilers get bounced now, does that Tim Hortons truck just pack it up and go home?
No, they got to be there for the other teams.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I have breaking news from the bubble. And this is going to disappoint all you bettors out there. LeBron James is out of tonight's game against the Houston Rockets. A sore groin, Harry.
Yeah, that's load management.
Yep.
There's no soreness
and
down there.
you like the Lakers tonight,
I love the Lakers tonight. They only played 15 minutes, they being LeBron and AD last night. I thought this was a measuring stick game, as they said.
Nah.
Remember, LeBron missed
not.
27 games with the same groin situation. I believe it's the same groin.
It might be a different
you
one.
only
Who
get
knows?
one. You only get one.
Right.
It's like a mama. I'll always love my mama. She's my only one.
Well, there's 2 sides, though. That's the problem.
I know.
You know?
Well, he had a right groin injury early. Actually, he had a groin injury he suffered on the Christmas Day game back then. He missed 27 games, and then he sat out in December and February for the same reason. So is it the right groin or the left groin? Because now he says last night of his right groin, he's going to be out for tonight's game against the Houston Rockets.
I saw
guess
him
who else
limping
is
out on the
questionable?
wrong side.
Guess who else is questionable tonight, Harry, as these games become more meaningless because the Lakers have nothing to play for?
Anthony Davis.
No. Russell Westbrook listed as questionable due to a right quadriceps contusion. And Alec Caruso is questionable. Neck muscle spans. AD's got a sprained right ankle. Markieff Morris has a left hip contusion. Cantavius Caldwell-Pope has right rib contusion. Dwight Howard has a sore right knee. Basically,
Well,
everybody's
it's a joke.
hurt.
This sounds-
Everybody's
it's a joke.
hurt.
This sounds like the New England Patriots injury list, before a normal game in October.
Sorry, half these guys ain't injured.
Of course.
I mean, let's just be real here,
The
right?
bottom line is this. While all you guys get excited about Lakers Rockets
Right.
like it means something, it doesn't matter to either team. What don't you understand about this? What's the matter with you guys? Are you stupid or something?
A little, yeah.
My groin hurts just talking about it.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the breaking baseball news, Harry. Baseball has now hired babysitters for the rest of the season. Did you see this story? They're going to have, because they're worried about, more COVID cases. I'm not making this up. Major League Baseball, because the commissioner really means business now. They're going to make sure that the dumbass players don't do stupid crap for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they will hire PCOs, Harry. You down with PCOs?
PCOs?
Protocol Compliance Officers.
Oh, okay. I got you.
They're basically hall monitors, babysitters.
Right.
So they're not going to lock the players in their hotel rooms. If you want to get food or do something outside the hotel,
You got to check in with
you
them,
got to
right?
run it by the PCO to make sure it's safe.
Okay.
What's the PCO? Who are they going to hire? They're
Just a
gonna hire.
Joe Schmo, an intern probably.
You think?
And you don't think the player's going to be able to slip the PCO a couple of bucks?
The Texas Rangers did this with Hamilton, the recovering
Oh,
drug
yeah,
addict.
yeah,
Josh
yeah.
Hamilton.
Josh
maybe?
Hamilton, yes.
Yeah.
The Texas Rangers had someone by his side 24/7,
Yeah, but
and
that's
that was part
that's
of
a
his
different
success.
thing. That's
like
one
a
guy.
sponsor, though, in his situation.
Yeah.
Pretty much a
Yeah.
paid sponsor.
And that
You're gonna
only
have, when the St. Louis Cardinals go to Chicago or go somewhere else, you're going to have one guy in the hallway in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, they have to check with him first. They can still go out. Hey, listen, I'm going to go down to the 7-Eleven here and get a Slurpee.
Well, you can't.
Oh, okay, no problem.
You can't violate the bubble, though.
There is no bubble in baseball.
No,
Yeah.
It's a baseball situation.
Right.
That's the
I mean,
biggest problem with baseball is these guys get to go to strip clubs.
To me,
and they
every-
get to go to casinos because they're going to different towns and they're spending a couple of days there,
See,
right?
to me, every team should sort of have their own protocols for their own kind of bubble when they are on the road. In other words, you just can't go wherever you want to go.
That's how it should be for the league.
But isn't this embarrassing, though, that
Yes.
baseball's gotten to the point we're going to have hall monitors now. And you can go out.
Well, you can't trust
You
them.
can go out, but you got to check with the PCO first. the PCO.
Now, could you be bought off if you were the PCO?
Hell yeah.
Yeah? And then they come back, and 2 days later, they all have the Rona.
Hey,
and they're like,
you know,
hey,
they told
Tony,
me-
what gives?
We're not locking you guys in. If you want to get food or do something outside the hotel, you run it by me.
What, so
and then
they-
I decide whether or not that's copacetic.
So they just introduce you to some IG models and you let them go on their way?
Hey, is this a good enough reason?
Yeah.
What say she comes to my room?
Okay, well.
And the PCO, what's he going to say?
Well, that's fine.
That's okay? Huh?
Yeah.
How do you
If
know
I'm
she
the
doesn't have the
PCO,
Rona?
I need some cash, man.
Yeah, who are they going to hire?
I need cash.
Do they have an ad in the MLB front page? PCOs wanted.
Craigslist.
Yeah, can you qualify?
Craigslist.
Are you qualified enough to make sure that Major League Baseball players can still leave their hotel rooms when they're visiting around this country, but don't go out in a place where the PCO doesn't think you should be?
Well, would it be a better idea if they had to check in with the local governor of whatever state they're playing in?
In fact, Tom Wolf, the governor of Pennsylvania, has already said that he will be the PCO for the Phillies and the Pirates. And as far as college sports and major and
high school sports,
they don't need any PCOs. They ain't playing. Now, he hasn't shut down college sports yet in Pennsylvania, but he's recommending they don't play.
Of course.
As far as high school, like PIAAs and all he doesn't want them to play until 2021.
I think he's recommending nobody come out of their house until 2021.
Exactly right. Especially his health secretary. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, as you can see. So stick around. We're just getting underway. Steve Hoffman. We'll talk some golf. Harry's got his PGA. He's got his leaderboard already up, and he is excited. We got PGA championship action, yo. And a lot of daytime baseball, hockey, basketball, all still ahead. Stick around.
So when Christian Yellops is DMing some IG model, he says, make sure you bring a friend, for my boy, the PCO.
For the PCO, yeah.
All right, folks.
Make sure you bring a piece of ass for the PCO.
Exactly right.
You know what time it is. For now, we are only able to broadcast the full 3 hours on Twitch. If it changes, we will let people know. But if you are listening or watching on something other than twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show, for example, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, please make the switch to Twitch right now. It's free. Hopefully, we will be able to do other ones soon. But for now, join the chat room in the Twitch room, and we will see you there.